Welcome back to the channel, guys. I got a new product review. I'm excited to present. It's the Tango II Pro transmitter. It's a crossfire remote, and been using this for a couple weeks. Want to put us through its paces to see, so I could give you some good feedback. Let's open up and see what's in the box. You know, it's from Team Black Sheep, TBS. All right, I got the Pro version. So it's gonna come with the cool velvet bag. Now the standard model does not come with this. Some stickers, some TBS stickers. Comes with a keychain. Little mini Tango II, pretty nice. You get the neck strap, hook, mounting screw, and gasket. It's like some spare parts, a little Allen wrench, some springs. I don't know if these are different tension from the ones that are pre-installed, but some extra springs. And for the moment we've been waiting for. This is what the standard Tango II comes with. This just kind of plain pouch, but I mean, it'll definitely, this bag, it'll protect the remote. So, and like I said, I got the Pro version. So the main difference besides the accessories on this one is you get the folding sticks. So apparently a lot of research and development went into this. I know it looks simple and it's very clean, the motion, but a lot of research was put into this. So that is the difference in the price there. So I believe it's about retails for about $50 more than the base controller. I initially had the base controller on order. I got it from Heli Nation. I went ahead and canceled that one. It just wasn't in stock. I mean, TBS products, especially Crossfire, since the pandemic, have been kind of hard to get. Stock's been picking up now, but I got tired of waiting and I canceled that. And Pat had some for the Pros in stock, so definitely check it out. I'll post a link in the description. I believe they're currently in stock, but let's go over the remote here. So this has the built-in folding antenna. It also doubles as a kickstand. Pretty nice. And if you're not familiar with it, Tango runs OpenTX. It's actually a fork of OpenTX, Freedom TX. I'm sorry, they're actually going to join OpenTX, I believe, in OpenTX 2.4. They're working on that, but currently it's Freedom TX. But I mean, it pretty much works exactly like OpenTX.
Welcome to Tango II.
You can see it's got the LED.
Switch warning.
Okay. I've already got a model created. Like I said, I've been using it. Sorry about the glare. Got some new lighting. So we'll go over the remote. I mean, basically, like I said, it's OpenTX. So, you know, if you're familiar with OpenTX, there's hundreds of videos on that. So I don't really need to explain that. It's got the small LED display. You probably see some flashing. It's not coming up for me. You don't see it. It's just the refresh rate of the screen is a little bit different. You got the light. That means just like regular Crossfire, it's searching for a receiver, so it's not currently bound. So we'll talk about some other things. So this is the V3 PCB. So it's got the V3 motherboard in here. So they've been through, I believe, 3 renditions so far. So now, I don't believe they've released the update yet, but Travis been hinting around about an update. It's going to push this past 250 milliwatt. So initially, all the Tango IIs were 250 milliwatt, which I mean is going to be fine for most people. When I was using my Crossfire Light module, I had it set at 25 milliwatt. So, man, I wasn't getting fail safe. So, I mean, I was going out as far, you know, pretty much as far as my video would go. So, but they've been through 3 renditions. This one just is the latest version, so all the new ones are going to ship with a V3 board. Now, so something to keep in mind about that, if you're picking up one secondhand, there are 2 other boards. So the V1, it only goes up to 250 milliwatts. They all currently go up to 250 milliwatts. But I haven't taken the Tango apart yet. But if you look on the back, there's a connector here, starting with the V2 boards. And there is a module adapter. So it used to be just a Crossfire only remote, but TBS listens to the community, and a lot of us do fly tiny whoops. We do have some other radios that we other protocols that we use besides Crossfire. So they have an option there. They've got you just have to cut a small slit here, and you can add an adapter. So it uses a light module like the X Lite and the X9 Lite FR Sky, if you're familiar with those. It's not the full JR Bay module. It's the light module, more compact. So there's a connector here starting with the V2 board and as well as on the V3 board. And the main difference between the V3 board is it has the internals of the Micro TX V2. So as you all know, I think they've already released the update that the V2 can go up to 1 watt instead of 250 milliwatt like the V1. So this one has the same Micro TX chip or chipset that the V2 Micro TX has. So something cool. Not that I'll need it, but it's nice to know that it's there. I believe it's got I think it's 5,000 milliamp hour 1S LiPo in there. I'm not having any issues there with battery life. The screen is a lot smaller. I came from a Jumper T16 Pro. I love that remote, but I was looking for something with a smaller form factor. They'll have giant hands. Not like Shaquille O'Neal can open up 5 apps with one press on my iPhone. So, the form factor is great. Feels great in the hand. I'm a thumber. So definitely not having any issues there. With some adjustment, because the Jumper, like I said, it's a taller radio. And, your sticks are up here. You got the huge screen. Sorry about the glare. This one, you're not looking at the screen when you're flying, right? You're setting up a model, yeah, that's great, but you're not looking at the screen while you're flying. So there's really, in my opinion, no need for a giant screen. Yeah, it looks nice, but it's really unneeded. I'd rather have the better form factor. These are, I think the gimbals have a longer throw. It's pretty much a full-size gimbal throw. I mean, probably not as large of a throw as the X9D, but pretty close. So you're getting more resolution there in the sticks. Start out on the simulator with this. It does work. DCL and PS4, they do allow, after the most recent update, they do allow transmitters. Besides, you don't just have to play with the PlayStation controller. So everybody's trying to play with the PlayStation controller. and you got that like half stick throttle, and the resolution is horrible to fly on that. So, you know, I mean, a lot of people play on PC as well. I think I also have liftoff. I have that on Mac and PC via Steam. So connects up to the liftoff fine. I think liftoff's coming out with a new version. They just pushed out a new physics version. It was a big update. But they're going to have, I think liftoff's coming to Xbox and PlayStation as well. So something cool to think about. But yeah, use it on the simulators. No problems with that. If you're used to, like I said, a traditional style transmitter, you're going to have the big clunky switches. Most of us that fly quads, you know, we don't need that many different switches, right? I have an arm, which I use this switch. It's a 2-position. I have my beeper on this 2-position. And then I have modes set up on this one. It's a 3-position toggle, but I only fly in acro now, so I don't even know I'm setting that up. And then I use turtle mode in the 2nd position on this one. So you also have 2 momentary switches on the back. Like maybe if you do a pre-arm, you can use those. I don't do a pre-arm. I mean, you're not going to bump that. That was something, you know, taking off, getting used to, because, you know, I fly with the air mode on, so I always drop or disarm like right above the ground. So it took me a second to get, you know, disarm down pat, but just, you know, after a couple flights. So what else can we go over there? I got a scroll wheel. It's easy to select. I mean, like I said, it's OpenTX. It's better than the jumper scroll wheel. It's plastic. Fit and finish is good. You got the rubber grips on the back. I think Imagod's come out with some grips, as well as Tweed FPV. And then you can also get like the nostalgia cases, so it's clear, see-through, kind of like the old Game Boys and stuff. A lot of people are painting the insides of those. It looks pretty cool, putting LEDs in it. I'm not going to do that. It's USB-C. You got an audio jack, I guess maybe for a trainer port as well. It does charge. It has internal charging, so you don't have to remove the battery. Like I said, I think it's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Lasts all day. Yeah. So if you're considering getting a new remote, you like game style controllers, you don't like FR Sky anymore, because most of us don't, because they're trying to push us into their new protocols and make things not be backwards compatible. We're not down with that jazz, so forget them. You know, I mean, I still use some receivers and some SPI receivers and whoops that are FR Sky. I mean, generally didn't really let me down a whole lot. I did start to get fail safes, because as you get further into the hobby, you're going to start pushing your limits a little bit further. So Crossfire is the way to go. If you haven't already checked it out, definitely do so. I mean, the price point, like I said, I think it's coming in at like $159. $159, I think, for the base, and it may be just $199 for the Pro. But I mean, if you're getting like a jumper, I mean, now jumpers T18 Pro, Radio Master TX16S. I mean, the Radio Masters were down, but now I think they're not on pre-order. They're like $149. So I mean, you're already getting Crossfire built in. Yeah, Trappy dropped the price of the Micro TX V2, but I mean, you can skip that step. I mean, this has got a V2 module in there, and like I said, with the light bay, you can get an adapter if you want to run a light or full size TX. If you need the 2 watts, you know, you can definitely do that. I don't see me doing that. I do have some cool things coming to the channel though. I got a long range quad in particular. I didn't buy the bind and fly. Maybe you can guess what it is. A lot of people that got the pre-orders on that one are pretty upset they couldn't meet the demand, but that's coming new to the channel. So we'll be testing out, maybe we'll be pushing the limits of 250 milliwatt. Something to note too, I was running an older version of Crossfire, and I updated, I think on this one, to run the extended module for the JR Bay, for like the multi-protocol module, which I've got one of those. I'm gonna have that in a video upcoming there. We may have some cool stuff going on with that. You have to update to the beta firmware. So you just enable that in Agent, check for beta firmware, update your Crossfire version. But this has got shot built in it, Crossfire shot, so the latency is even lower than CRSF. So definitely can see it. I think I run it dynamic at 25 milliwatt, so I'm not really flying out far. So in a lot of the quads I'm running are 3.5.7, so it doesn't actually show you, what mode you're in. It just shows, your LQ, which is set up as RSSI and beta flight, like 99%. So, but you can definitely tell the difference when you're closer in. It is much more responsive. I mean, Crossfire's always responsive anyway, and even lower latency than FR Sky. So since I'm a thumber, the stock stick ends were kind of narrow, not as easy to grip. So I went out and got some FR Sky Vantec Grand Lotus stick ends. Make sure you get M3 for the Tango. And it definitely made a big difference with my flying. I know a lot of people will pinch with this radio because in the way it's made, it's easy for pinchers. But I've never tried to pinch. I've just always flown thumbs. I'm an old school gamer, so I'm used to the game style controller. But anyway, this gives you, it gives me easier access to full stick. There's a bigger surface area. So if you're thinking about upgrading some stick ends, I can definitely recommend the Grand Lotus stick ends. They make a Lotus, and previously I had the umbrella stick ends on the my T16 jumper, but I felt like those were just going to be too big and they weren't going to fold. So I'm working on another rendition of this, but somebody else on Thingiverse had a protector for, since mine is a Pro, it does have the folding stick ends, but I still do need to do some work on this one to fit the Grand Lotus. I'll post the STL when I get it, the final design. But I mean, it does the job. Just keeping it from scratching. So if you're a thumber, I can't help but recommend the Grand Lotus from Vantec. So they have them in stock at RDQ, but they were out of the black. So I got mine at Aloft Hobbies. They were quick to ship. I'll post a link in the description. All right, guys, I hope that was informative. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It helps me out. Post any comments or questions below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope this helps. And if you're looking for a new radio, definitely consider the Tango II. It's a good option. Catch you in the next one.